So how's it going, guys, and welcome back to another video today. On this Made in Luton Channel, today's video is going to be a transfer related video where I'm going to be discussing 5 players I believe Luton Town could sign this upcoming summer transfer window. So basically I'm going to be providing 5 players which are currently free agents or that I believe Luton Town could purchase in the Championship / League One to basically improve our current team. This is coming on the back end of Luton currently releasing their retain list as well just the other day, where we did find out a few players have left the club. Those 3 players that have been released are Jacob Brown, Zach Nelson and Cohen Bramwell, so they will no longer be Luton Town players next season. But when moving on from that and focusing on the players that I think we should bring in, let's start off with my first player. Now, my first player is a player I did briefly mention in my previous video, and that's Harry Leonard. He's 22 years old, he's 6'1", and he's valued above £1 million, but he scored 16 goals and got 5 assists for Peterborough last season and had a really good year for them. He was signed from Blackburn the previous year in 2025, and he has carried them this season in my opinion. He's been one of their best players and he helped them prevent relegation this season in League One. I remember watching Leonard at home to Luton where we beat Peterborough, and in that game specifically he was a massive threat against us. He was just a bit of a handful. He's a very stocky kind of striker. Obviously he's got the height on him as well, being 6'1", and I just believe he would be a bit of a threat up top if we went in to sign him. Obviously there'll probably be a lot of other clubs looking at him. I mean, he scored 16 goals in a very struggling Peterborough side this season. I think he's exactly the kind of striker we need. I mean, at the moment we've got the likes of Naki Wells at the club, who's a very small, kind of different type of striker. I feel like we need to go back to the more traditional number 9. I think Harry Leonard would be that. As I've previously said, he will be costing more than £1 million, so if Gary Sweet is willing to get the money out, then we could probably sign him. So that's just one player from my list that I think we should go for. And now my second player is another player I did recently watch play against Luton, and that is Jamal Baptiste. He's 22 years old, he's 6'1", and he's valued between, I believe, 500,000 to £1 million. That's just a rough estimate from my behalf. He was on loan at Rotherham this season from Sheffield United, and he's barely featured for Sheffield United since he's signed for the club, but last season for Rotherham he made 29 appearances, and he's a centre back / left back. When I saw him play against Luton for Rotherham, he was playing left back, but recently he's also featured at centre back, so he can pretty much play both positions in the back line. Now, the reason why I picked him is because when Luton played Rotherham away, obviously we did end up beating them, but me and Dad watched the game together and we just saw this left back just literally control the game completely on that side. He blocked out Shaden Morris and he made it very difficult that evening for him to literally do anything. He was strong on the ball, he brought the ball forward as well, he transitioned from defence to midfield and even up to the attack really well, and he was a proper decent left back, to be honest, even though he's mainly listed as a centre back. He's got all the attributes I think are quite important, not just the height and the strength, but his defensive ability looked really good as well with tackling. And yeah, I think he's someone we should go in for. He's young. I believe we could probably get a loan deal from Sheffield United where he could come to Luton, because at the end of the day we're a much better club than Rotherham if you look at last season's finish. So I think it would be a good step up, and I think this one is somewhat realistic. Now, when moving on to my third player, I've picked out a player that got recently released by QPR, and that is the 31-year-old Isaac Hayden, who is 6'2" and can play in central defensive midfield and centre back. He played 29 games last season for QPR and got 2 assists, but was on the bench towards the end of this season and did not play as much. However, he is an experienced midfielder / defender who has previously played for Newcastle and Norwich. I do specifically remember him at Newcastle, and he did play a lot of games for him. Now, I think Isaac Hayden would be a good addition to the team for multiple reasons, but Luton have actually tried to, I believe, sign him before, and I just think he'd be decent because, again, he's a versatile player. Similar to Baptiste, he can play in multiple positions. I'm pretty sure he can play in another position in the defensive line as well, but it mainly lists him as a centre back or a central defensive midfielder, which I believe Luton need cover for right now. As we saw last season, we had a few problems with our defensive players, and I feel like he'd be good cover for that. And not even cover, I think he should be a starter for Luton. I could definitely see him in the Luton team. I mean, it's whether or not he takes that step down to Division 1, sort of like what Casey Palmer did, but I could definitely see it happen. I mean, he's been released by QPR. I don't know if any other Championship clubs would come in for him. He's getting a bit older now, but yeah, I could potentially see this happening if Luton did offer him obviously a good contract. But the main thing is he's without a club, so if he's willing to do similar to what Palmer did, then I would definitely look into trying to get Hayden into the club. My fourth player is going to be Archie Collins, another Peterborough United former player. He was currently put on their retained list. He's 26 years old, 5'9" central midfielder who was previously signed from Exeter, making 129 appearances for Peterborough in total. He played 45 games for Peterborough last season and got 2 goals. goals and 7 assists, and currently has a market value of around 1 million plus. Now, I think a lot of teams are currently after Archie Collins. Obviously, he recently left Peterborough after being put on their retained list and being released by the club, and I'm pretty sure that reason is probably because he wants to go on to bigger and better things, since he's one hell of a midfielder. I haven't seen too much of him personally myself, but from what I've heard on Twitter and heard elsewhere, he is going to be a much wanted player, and I believe currently Watford and Swansea are in for him, so I don't even know if we would have the chance of getting him. I think he's probably going to be pushing up to maybe a Championship club if he gets that move, but I definitely think Luton should at least try to get him. At the moment, we've obviously got the likes of Clark, Walsh in midfield, along with Saville and a few other players that have currently been rotated a bit recently. As much as I do like our current midfield options, it's always better to strengthen elsewhere. A 26-year-old midfielder who's had a decent season for, again, a struggling Peterborough side, I don't think you can turn that sort of offer down if we got the opportunity to try and sign him. Again, another important statistic is he played 45 games last season. That's almost the entire season for Peterborough, which shows that he is not injury prone, he's athletic and fit, and he's obviously, as I said, already a good midfielder from what I've heard. Now, the fifth player I've picked out on this list is a player that's kind of controversial just because of some other things I found out about him. That player is Steven Sessegnon. Again, was released quite recently by Wigan. He's 25 years old, 5'9", and he can play left and right back. I've put him on this list for that reason, because we obviously currently do need a left and right back right now, but he previously played for Fulham, Bristol, Plymouth and Charlton before going to Wigan, and he's obviously the brother of Ryan Sessegnon. He has good Championship and League One experience, but last season he only played 11 games for Wigan due to injury problems. That would mean that Luton would need to get him back fit, and we do have a problem and a knack for signing injured players, so that's one downside to him. Again, similar to Archie Collins, I haven't watched too much of him, I don't know too much about him, but when I saw him on the retained list, I thought it'd be a good option potentially to bring in, not really to be a starter, but more as a backup option for the left and right back, because we need someone versatile to play both flanks at the moment, because obviously we've literally only got really Joe Johnson, Ruel Walters that can naturally play there, along with maybe Cal Naismith since Bramwell's just recently gone. So that's kind of why I picked out Steven Sessegnon. Yeah, that's my fifth player that I thought Luton could potentially go in for. Now, aside from those five, there are two more players that I did also add into this list as honourable mentions, and those players are Jack Aitchison and Luke Berry. Both were recently released, and I'm going to start with Jack Aitchison first. He's 26 years old, 5'11", central attacking midfielder slash left midfielder who is Scottish, and he played 44 games last season for Exeter, getting 1 goal and 4 assists. After Exeter's recent relegation, he has been released by the club, again similar to maybe Archie Collins, to go on to bigger and better things. And yeah, again, I haven't seen much of Jack Aitchison. I do remember briefly seeing him on FIFA in the past as a good player to sign. That's pretty much all the knowledge I've really got on him. But by the statistics side of things, again, he's not a proven goal scorer as such, but I feel like he could be moulded into one. I mean, again, similar to Archie Collins, he played 44 games last season, so he's clearly athletic and a fit player. That is a good statistic alone to bring into discussions. We currently do probably need an attacking midfielder as well, since it looks like Casey Palmer will not be returning to the club. So yeah, he's just a player I thought we could maybe take a bit of a punt at and get into the club, since he is currently a free agent. The final player I'm going to talk about in this video is Luke Berry. I don't think I really need to go into that much detail with him, because us Luton fans do know Lukey Berry. He's 33 years old, 5'10" midfielder, currently at Charlton, but did actually recently get released, and he only played 16 games for last season and only getting 1 goal. This was because Nathan Jones did not favour him over other midfielder options, and since they took that step up into the Championship, Luke Berry's had a bit of a tough time at the club. He's mainly been a substitution for them, and yeah, he's just not getting much game time, so he's been released. So I straight away think we should go in for him. I do believe we need that sort of attacking midfielder at the moment, if it is true that Casey Palmer is leaving, which I believe it is. So we need to be going in for another attacking midfielder. He previously played for us, was a bit of a legend for us back in the day, and I think it's kind of a win-win situation. Nathan Jones hasn't favoured him, he's released him, and he's going to need another club. He's clearly not Championship standard now, with him being a bit older now as well. So yeah, I think it's a good signing for Luton if we can get him back to the club. So guys, that is all of my players that I will be talking about in this video. Obviously I did say 5, but I just put those 2 at the end just for a few honourable mentions just to throw in there as well. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope my statistics and information has been informative to you guys. Hopefully we can sign some of these players. These are just some players I've recently found from retained lists, or players that I remember watching last season season in League One, for example. And yeah, I just think we should try and go in for signings this summer and hopefully strengthen our team. I mean, it's completely down to what the boards want to do and what Jack Wilshere wants to do. But yeah, that's just my thoughts from a Luton Town fan perspective of where we can strengthen our team in the positions I believe we need to. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. I'll catch you guys all in my next one. Peace.